Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mayur Samant from IIT Indore. First, I would like to thanks to give a chance to present my work here. I am very happy to sharing these topics, additive manufacturing using a microplasma. First, before we go to the crux of the matters, we have glance. Let's have a glance on the structure of the outline. First, we have to see the introduction of the additive manufacturing, need of additive manufacturing, additive manufacturing process for the metallic materials, challenges in additive layer manufacturing, then microplasma transfer arc deposition processes, further that applications, hybrid layer manufacturing, and at the last reverse engineering. As a result of globalizations, manufacturing industries are challenged to deliver good quality products with a cost effectively, which they are in tremendous pressures to rapid deployment of a products into the productions. You can see here the physical prototyping in 1950s. You can see it takes a longer times, it takes so much cost, and it requires a number of manpowers. So it has led to development in advanced manufacturing systems such as ALM. ALM stands for the additive layer manufacturing, which is used for the free form fabrications, repair a component that is not repaired by the traditional methods, and add strategics to the castings and forgings. Actually, these capabilities came from the CAD data, and ASTMs this defines the process of a joining of materials to make object from a 3D model data, usually layer upon layer, as opposed to subtractive manufacturing methodologies. Actually, this deposition materials gives a very better qualities, and along this process flexibility, it gives the significantly it reduces the development times. If you use for the development of a prototypings, it gives a it reduces overall cost of the productions. Now we have to see the methodology behind the additive layer manufacturing. First, we have to see a 3D file is created that defines which components to be built. Further, the system softwares that slices that 3D CAD file into the number of the horizontal layers and create the tool path for the each layers. Further, this beam is followed by the tool path and create this build. Sometimes we require a post processing for the build, and generally this additive layer manufacturing is performed in a very low oxygen environment to reduce the defects in additive layer manufacturing. But what is the actual need of the additive layer manufacturing? Suppose parts having cost is more than 20 lakhs, and a mistake is made towards the end of the process. What will happen? Can we scrap these products? No, it is not possible. Suppose a small feature needs to be changed once a part is manufactured. Suppose that part is it is not possible to manufacture by the traditional method. Then what will happen? Suppose geometric complexity. You can see here the geometric complexity is not possible by the manufacture by the traditional methods. Even a material complexity. Suppose if you want different properties at a different layer or a different point. So even sometimes you require a combination of a different properties such as a hardness, toughness, along with both properties sometimes we require. That time what will happen? That time we can use this additive layer manufacturing. Till 1980s, the manufacturing was dominated by the material subtraction and deform method. But now the sign is changes to minus to plus, because the production of parts using the additive layer manufacturing is superior than the subtractive methods. Why? Because it gives a very material efficient and energy efficient. This material is deposited layer by layer and produce parts. Actually, it eliminates a number of steps that is required in a conventional manufacturing, such as a planning of a drawing, requires manpowers, require machinings. That its number of steps that in additive manufacturing is reduces. So that means it gives it reducing the overall times also. It is, you can say, the 2D printings. It is as simple as a 2D printing, so it is also called as a 3D printing, because you can manufacture, if you want to manufacture a 2-3 stories building, can it possible? Yeah, is it possible by this additive layer manufacturing also? We have to see some popular additive layer manufacturing. But basically these additive manufacturings have been used for a rapid prototyping during the last 30 years. But nowadays the advanced technology is for the manufacturing the metallic materials. So that these are the different metallic structures, different types of additive layer manufacturings for the metallic materials. Basically the type of energy which the major factors which classify the additive layer manufacturing processes, such as the high energy beam processes, arc based beam processes. Again this high energy beam processes again is classified into the laser beam processes and electron beam processes, and arc based process again is classified into the arc is used for plasma generations, and directly arc used for the deposition, such as the TIG additive layer manufacturing, MIG additive layer manufacturing. Now we have to see some popular additive layer manufacturing, such as the stereolithography apparatus. It's also called as the SLA. It was discovered in USA, and generally it is used for the rapid prototyping. Basically it is a liquid base. Here is a totally is filled with a liquid, and in which the liquid is a solidifies at a particular place at this layer is solidified using the interaction of the lasers, and further that platform it's lowered, and again it's solidifies that liquids, and you will get the parts. We can see, we have to see video. So we can see here the laser which scans the layers and solidifies the liquids. You will get the products whatever you want. Generally it uses a CAM softwares. There is a computer, that means the knowledge of the computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. Sorry. It's not close. Media. Great. Thank you. Another is a selective laser sinterings. It was discovered in a Texas University in the 1980s. It is a powder-based additive layer manufacturing systems, in which powder is a partially melted or fully melted. Generally is a fully melted, it also known by the selective laser melting, SLM. Basically it is used for the polymer or metallic materials to build components. You can see it has a similar working principle as a SLA. This is a fused deposition modeling. It is a wire-based additive layer manufacturing, in which generally it is actually less expensive and it does not require post processing. It is generally used for the polymer materials like ABS, polymer, polycarbonate, polypropylenes. Generally it uses build materials along with the supporting materials, in which these rollers which feed that wire materials into the this arrangement, which is the melting the actually this is the heat arrangement, which is to melt the wires and create the build. We can see the overview by using this. We can see here this is the wires which is provided by these rollers, and these heating arrangement, these rollers, and that heating arrangement that is which melts that wires and create a build. This is the laser engineering net shaping. Actually this is the direct metal deposition methods. It was discovered in 1997. Actually this laser is used for depositing powder on the substrate, which gives the particular product whatever you want. This has a number of advantages. This is like it has a very high deposition rate. It also gives a very high quality and also we can use for a different materials like a metals, alloys, even polymers in ceramics and functionally graded materials also. Generally, these additive layer have a number of capabilities, such as you can see that the efficiency of use of resources, because it eliminates a number of many steps. You can hierarchy or complexity, then material complexity, then shape complexity also. But still, this additive layer manufacturing is having some challenges, because we cannot use any additive manufacturing for the any materials, because suppose it has some quality like problems, such as we require a dimensional accuracy. Again, like interior matrix which depicts or which requires the finer microstructures, residual stresses, strength, number of properties, and it also affects the times, because the time is a major challenging in additive layer manufacturing, because sometimes after a completion of parts, some additive layer manufacturing requires a longer time for the cooling. So we require, this is the different challenges in additive layer manufacturing, such as the post processing like a polishing, machining, heat treatments also we require. Cost is the main factors which such as the cost per parts we can see in on the next slides. Actually, in indirect processes such as the machining processes, obviously we know that the at the initiative cost is a very higher. Once the number of parts it increases, the cost per parts in indirect processes it decreases. But in additive layer manufacturing, it takes a constant linear cost for the per part. So we will require to reduce overall cost of the additive layer manufacturing. Now we have to see the comparative statements in additive layer manufacturing processes, because these are higher energy beam processes having some advantages along with the limitations also, such as it having advantages is a heat transfer efficiency, penetration in depth, very less heat affected zone, and best quality of depositions. But deposition rate is very less in a high energy beam process, and it have a very higher cost. Similarly, these depositions by the arc depositions, it also having some advantage and some disadvantage also, but these are plasma depositions having in between the high energy beam processes and arc beam deposition processes. These that means there is a wide gap exists between the high energy beam processes and arc beam deposition processes, because in the high energy beam process is very costly. We cannot directly use in a small scale industry for a repairing or remanufacturing. And these arc deposition processes, it is a very less expensive, but it gives very poor quality. That's why these plasma deposition material, it is very material efficient, energy efficient, and it also gives very low heat affected zone and very less distortion. That means it gives a good quality of depositions. So that now we have to see the microplasma transfer arc depositions. Plasma is nothing but a fourth state of the matters, and that plasma is created by the ionization of the gas. Everybody knows that. This diagram is depict the working principle of the microplasma transfer arc depositions. In that, the pilot arc is formed between these negative electrodes and the positive constricting nozzles, and that pilot arc ionizes the inert gas and produces a plasma arc in between the this electrode and substrate. Actually, it can operate at a very lower temperature or lower currents. You can say lower current. It's a 0.1 to about 20 amperes, and it is very precisely and it is a focuser, so that it gives very lower heat temperature, very low heat distortions, and very precisely we can control. And additionally, it uses a shielding gas to reduce defects in the depositions. This plasma, which creates a melt woods and substrate, and these are powder which feeding in that substrate, which absorbs the heat and create a weld bed on that substrate, and we can use that methods layer by layer. We can create additive manufacturing. We can see this additive layer manufacturing for the this microplasma for a different purposes. we can use for a number of applications we can see in the next slide. These are the different advantages of micro PTA. These are very low heat input. It is a single step process that way we reduce the times. It gives very near net shapes. So we don't require that much machining. Superior material. It also it reduces the risk of tungstens, and it also reduces the tooling and fixturing cost generally we requires in a conventional manufacturing systems, and better control and higher precisions. But it's not easy to directly use that microplasma along with with automation for the additive manufacturing. It has we require to optimize some proper parameters to get quality of the depositions, such as energy delivery, process delivery, for a powder deposition, for wire deposition. It gives output such as a single track depositions you can see here, which requires to measure the track height, track width, aspect ratio, bead root and dilations. So in a multi-layer depositions, we will require to optimize a total wall width, effective wall width and surface waviness also. There are actually number of parameters we will require to optimize also. We can see we have to take one of the parameters such as the traverse speeds. Suppose we have to increase the traverse speeds, we will get the rapid cooling and we will get the finer structure of the microstructure, and obviously we will get the good properties at that material of that depositing materials. But if you increase the too much traverse speeds, there is chances of the distortion of a material depositions. So we require to optimize that proper parameters and proper controlling for the proper depositions. These microplasma deposition also we can use for the micro depositions, because these many additive layer manufacturings are generally used for the larger depositions. These are cannot directly used for the micro manufacturing. So these versions we can use for also for the micro manufacturing. These are these different characteristics in a single track deposition. Suppose this is a dilution. Dilution means this is the area of the A dash upon A dash plus A plus into the 100. It gives it dilutions. Actually, if increase in a dilution, there is a chances of the distortion of a substrate. And suppose there is a less dilution, there is a very low strength in a that substrate deposition material and substrate. So we will require to optimize the dilution of a deposition materials. So here the coin also gives this some deposition optimization for the dilution aspect ratio and root angle. This is about a 2 to 5 and 6% to 10% of a dilution and 60 to 90 degree angle. Actually this is deposited in IIT Indore by the Dr. Suyog Zawars by using the wire microplasma deposition methods. You can see there are different parameters we require to optimize. This is a effective wall width, surface waviness, and it also shows very fine microstructure without the porosity. These are the different applications of a microplasma deposition processes we can use for the agriculture, offshore, automobile, medical instrument, turbine engine. And we can see the subjective wise such as a surface modification, additive manufacturing and repair and remanufacturing. First, surface modification. This is the cladding. Cladding is nothing but the application of one material over the another materials for the improve the properties. Suppose these what is the actually need of the cladding? Suppose these are engineering components, we can say the engineering components are subjected to the wears and thermal stresses. They create the defects or using the due to the peating also. That's why we require the cladding, and this cladding is used for generally surface alloying, surface modification, or maybe also for the aesthetic purpose also. Another additive layer manufacturing, the complex shapes. We can use the additive layer manufacturing, additive layer manufacturing for the free form fabrication. You can see here this free form fabrication gives a novelty in geometries with along with very advanced materials like titaniums, and we can use this for the aerospace manufacturing also. Another repairing and remanufacturing, we can see here the undersized air seal. What happened if there is an undersized air seal? And obviously we can't use directly lasers additive manufacturing because it is too much costly. So we require to reduce a cost of additive manufacturing, because these microplasma transfer are having a very less cost as compared to the laser additive layer manufacturing, and it also gives very good quality as compared to the arc deposition processes. So these undersized air seals we can redeposit by using the microplasma, And further, we require to pre-machines, and we again that machining, and you will get the finished a proper size air seal. But now this additive layer manufacturing has some advantages, so new advances and technologies such as hybrid layer manufacturing. The hybrid layer manufacturing is nothing but is combine the benefits of the additive and subtractive process. I am not going to in detail in this hybrid layer manufacturing, but obviously some conventional methods like a CNC having some advantage, such as it's having very high accuracy and good surface finish, and these additive manufacturing also having some advantages such as is a low cycle time, total automation, and for a complex, because it using the knowledge of a computer knowledge. So we there in a hybrid layer manufacturing, they are using both technology for the cost saving and reducing the overall development time. These are the different products is made in IIT Bombay. Actually, this is impeller and propeller using the hybrid layer manufacturing. Another advanced technology in additive layer manufacturing is reverse engineering. Suppose if you have any one of the parts, and if you don't, and if you want to produce similar parts, and if you don't have any designing data of that parts, that time we can use this reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is actually geometric reverse engineering. In that is this process of creating mathematical representation or CAD model of an object from its physical form. So we will require to acquiring some point data from that models by using the different non-contact and contact types methods. Further, these data will transfer to the software which creates the 3D models. And if there is suppose one of the there is some one of the missing parts, they will require we can also reconstruct that missing parts. And sometimes for additive layer manufacturings, we require give us some tolerance fit for the surface finishing and different processes. These are the different designing methods we can use for the reverse engineering, such as manual measurement, focal projectometer, touch probe mounted on CMM, laser scanning, industrial computer tomography. These are different designing methods. These are different contact and non-contact types. Actually, contact types methods have some advantages such that it has a very less, actually it has very high accuracy, but it takes times, and also it's a labor it also requires. But non-contact types is less accurate as compared to contact types, but it is very fast we can use. These are the different designing methods we can use for in a reverse engineering. Suppose we have any parts, we can using this laser scanning, we can just scan that product. We will get the point of that product, and that transfer to the softwares, and that software create a 3D model. Again, this 3D model is transferred to the additive layer manufacturing. That in this you can in this way you can produce whatever you want. If you have any, if you want to produce products. This is a summary behind the additive layer manufacturing. Actually, this additive layer manufacturing process have really endless potential applications, and the advantage over traditional methods and creating a small runs prototypes. And actually, it also gives very lower piece production cost and lower upfront tooling cost, and it also enhance the design flexibility and leads to very better products. These additive layer manufacturings we can also use in a different applications such as automotive, agriculture, petrochemical, aerospace, and biomedicals. At the last, I would like to say for selecting any additive layer manufacturing, three considerations are very important, such as so you will require to first define which material you want to deposit, further which thickness you want to require, and further the post processings, because the every different additive layer manufacturing has different advantages and some different disadvantages limitations. So these three main parameters we require to consider for the selecting additive layer manufacturing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for interesting additive layer manufacturing processes, some introduction. Now, do you have any question, please?
Actually, in the challenge part,
Yes.
from Guru Jambheswar University of Science and Technology.
Yes.
Yes. Now you can ask the question.
Actually, the challenge part told कि some post processing is required in the additive manufacturing.
Yeah, additive manufacturing. Yes, sir.
And in the meantime, मतलब we can manufacture the very complex part.
Yeah, many advantage of
If
that.
we are manufacturing the very complex part,
Yeah.
how the post processing, the machining can be done if the part is very complex.
Yes, yes, yes. So for that we will require to use that proper additive manufacturing, because the new advanced technology such as the laser additive manufacturing, it gives a very fine finishings, very fine finishings using that laser. You can produce your parts by using that additive manufacturing also. There you will require very less finishing.
I will see, as I mentioned to you in my lecture, that these turbine blades, impeller, stator, turbine blade itself, or cooling hose, these are very difficult to finish. But there are certain processes we discussed, abrasive flow finishing process, which can reach any complex shape, anywhere you want. Even 0.5 millimeter diameter, thousands of holes can be finished in one go within few minutes. Same way stator, impeller, turbine blade, all of them can be finished too. Once you see, there are certain limitations for every process. Same is true with the additive manufacturing. Whatever accuracy they give, post-processing will be required. Especially when you are depositing layer by layer, you cannot get the desired surface integrity. You cannot get the desired strength, surface roughness. Even micro cracks may be there because of addition of two layers. So for that purpose, definitely you have to go for post-processing. And that is what GE, General Electric USA, is struggling with. That I mentioned 1,000 pounds lowering down the weight and all that. So that way you can use. That's not. But yes, these are all at lab stage right now. It's not that mass production is there for additive manufacturing, especially micro parts. So it will take time, but the R&D activities have started at a large scale across the globe. Yes, please, any other question? So
This
thank you very much.
process,
Yes, please.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sir, myself Samit, I am from ISM Dhanbad.
Okay.
So this process is carried out in atmosphere.
You
open
can
atmosphere.
open
How
atmosphere
to take care of
by
atmospheric contamination?
by using the inert gas.
Okay.
Generally, it
Use
uses the
inert
inert gas. Generally.
Any other question, please? So thank you very much once
Yeah,
again.
thanks.
We